12 artists, one massive hit each, then nothing. You know every single one of these songs. You've heard them at weddings, in grocery stores, blasting from car windows on summer nights. Be happy. But here's what you don't know. The stories behind why these artists never made it back. Why one song became everything. Why the second one never came.
Fast, faces pass and I'm homebound.
Some of them are still collecting royalties. Others walked away from music completely. And a few, well, you'll see. Number 12, 1980, Lips Incorporated, Funkytown. Steven Greenberg was a wedding DJ in Minneapolis. That's it. Spinning records at reception halls, watching people dance to other people's songs. And he kept thinking the same thing over and over. I need to get out of here. Minneapolis in 1980 felt too small, too quiet. He wanted New York, LA, anywhere with energy, somewhere that would keep him moving, keep him grooving. So he wrote a song about it, called it Funkytown, recorded it with local session musicians at Sound 80 Studio. The lead vocal, Cynthia Johnson, former Miss Black Minnesota. Her voice, half robotic vocoder, half pure soul, made the whole thing work. That contrast between the synthetic and the human, the mechanical groove with a heartbeat underneath. Funkytown hit number 1 in March 1980, spent 4 weeks at the top, sold over 8 million copies worldwide, topped charts in 28 countries, then nothing. Lips Inc. released 3 more albums. Not one other song cracked the top 40. By 1985, the band dissolved. Greenberg left music entirely, became a web designer. Johnson did session work, joined a gospel group. The song kept living without them in movies, commercials, nostalgia playlists, still getting streams decades later. And here's the thing about leaving to find something funkier. Prince was in Minneapolis the whole time. Revolution was already happening in the city Greenberg wanted to escape. Sometimes Funkytown is wherever you are and you just don't see it yet. Number 11, 1982, Dexys Midnight Runners, Come On Eileen. Come On Eileen went to number 1 in both the US and UK in April 1983. That rarely happens. British acts usually have to choose. Big in America or big at home, almost never both. Dexys Midnight Runners hit the lottery. Matching dungarees, Celtic fiddles, that opening riff everybody still tries to sing along with, even though nobody knows the actual words. But here's what the label never saw coming. Kevin Rowland, the lead singer, hated success. Not the fake, I'm too cool for this kind of hate. The real kind. The kind that makes you sabotage yourself because attention feels like suffocation. Right after Eileen peaked, Dexys was supposed to tour, promote the album, do the TV circuit. Rowland canceled everything, told the label the band was going in a new direction. What that meant, he wanted to dress the whole band like 1950s New York dock workers and play completely different music nobody asked for. The label begged him to write another Eileen. Rowland refused, said he wasn't interested in repeating himself. The follow-up album, Don't Stand Me Down, came out in 1985. No singles, no promotion. It sold nothing. By 1986, the band broke up for good. And here's what nobody talks about. Rowland spent the next 15 years broke, playing tiny pubs, working odd jobs. The royalties from Eileen kept coming in, but they weren't enough to live on after the label took their cut and paid back the recording debts. tried a solo comeback in 1999, showed up to his own album release party in lingerie and fishnets. The press destroyed him. Not because of the clothes, because nobody remembered him enough to care. That's a different kind of loss. When the hit is so big it erases everything else you might have been.
Let's look at the numbers. Only 9% of you are actually subscribed. Honestly, that's tough to see. Our team spends days hunting down archives and verifying every single fact just to tell these stories right. If you've made it this far into the video, you're clearly part of the community, so please hit subscribe. It costs nothing and helps us immensely. Now, for those already subscribed, very few of you have made the jump to our membership, and that's a hard pill to swallow because you're the ones who know our value best. If this channel has moved you or inspired you, consider joining. It's the price of one coffee, but it's the literal fuel for this channel. Let's keep this alive together. Back to the story.
Number 10, 1985. John Parr, St. Elmo's Fire, Man in Motion. John Parr was a 35-year-old session guitarist from the UK when David Foster called. Foster needed a song for a Brat Pack movie about college kids figuring out adulthood. St. Elmo's Fire. The studio wanted something anthemic, hopeful. The kind of track that makes people feel like anything's possible right before reality kicks them in the teeth. Parr wrote it in about a week. Big drums, soaring chorus, lyrics about carrying on and believing in yourself, classic 80s motivational stuff. But here's the part that matters. The song wasn't about the movie at all. It was about Rick Hansen. Rick Hansen was a Canadian athlete who'd been paralyzed in a car accident at Funkytown. Decided to wheel himself around the entire planet to raise money for spinal cord research. 24,901 miles across 34 countries. Took him 2 years. They called it the Man in Motion Tour. Parr saw a documentary about Hansen, got obsessed, wrote the song as a tribute. When Foster heard it, he said it was perfect for the movie. Changed nothing. Just stuck it over the opening credits and let it ride. St. Elmo's Fire went to number 1 in September 1985. Then John Parr's career didn't. He released 2 more albums in the 80s. Not one other song charted. By the 90s, he was back doing session work, writing for other artists, playing club gigs to pay the bills. And you know what gets me about this one? Rick Hansen finished his whole journey, raised $26 million for spinal cord injury research, changed medical funding forever. Nobody remembers his name. They remember the song about him that wasn't even supposed to be about him. That's how it goes sometimes. The tribute outlives the person it was honoring. And the guy who wrote the tribute gets forgotten too. Number 9, 1988. Bobby McFerrin, Don't Worry, Be Happy.
Make it double, don't worry.
Bobby McFerrin recorded Don't Worry, Be Happy a cappella, no instruments, just his voice doing everything, and the bass line, the percussion, the melody, the harmonies. Every single sound you hear in that song is coming from his mouth, and he hated it. Not the technique. He loved vocal experimentation, spent his whole career pushing what the human voice could do. But this song, the one that went to number 1 for 2 weeks in September 1988, the one that won the Grammy for Song of the Year, he couldn't stand it because it became bigger than music.
Be happy.
George H.W. Bush used it as his campaign theme in 1988. McFerrin told them to stop. They didn't. The song was everywhere. Commercials, motivational posters, corporate training videos. The phrase, "Don't worry, be happy," turned into a punchline. Something your boss says when you're drowning in work and need actual help.
Don't worry, be happy.
McFerrin stopped performing it live. Completely. refused to play it at concerts. When interviewers asked about it, he'd redirect, talk about his other work, his classical conducting, his collaborations with Chick Corea and Yo-Yo Ma. But nobody cared about those. They wanted the whistling guy.
Be happy.
Here's the strange part. McFerrin had a 40-year career, 10 Grammy Awards, collaborated with some of the greatest musicians alive, conducted major orchestras around the world. But Don't Worry, Be Happy is the only thing most people know.
Don't worry, be happy.
That's the trap of a novelty hit. It's not that the follow-up didn't work. It's that the first one became a joke, and you're standing behind it trying to be taken seriously while the world's still laughing, and McFerrin's still working, still innovating, still making music, just not that song, never that song again.
And you worry, your face will frown, and that will bring everybody.
Number 8, 1992, Sir Mix-a-Lot, Baby Got Back.
Girl walks in with an itty-bitty waist and a round thing in your face, you get sprung. Wanna pull.
Let's be clear about something. Baby Got Back went number 1 in July 1992. MTV banned the music video. Radio stations edited it to death. Parent groups lost their minds, and it still sold over 2 million copies and became one of the most recognizable songs of the decade.
Knock me bimbos walking like hoes. You can have them bimbos. I'll keep my.
Sir Mix-a-Lot, Anthony Ray from Seattle, wrote it as social commentary. That's what people miss. The song wasn't just about butts. It was about beauty standards, about how the fashion industry spent decades telling women with curves they were wrong, while actual human attraction worked completely differently. And yeah, it's also about butts.
I'm made for toys. I want them real thick and juicy. Go find that juicy.
But here's what happened after. Mix-a-Lot became the big butt guy. That's it. That's all anybody wanted from him. Labels wanted Baby Got Back Part 2. Interviewers wanted to talk about body positivity, but really wanted him to say something controversial. He tried releasing other music, political tracks, social commentary, harder rap records. Nobody cared.
I like them round and big. And when I'm throwing a gig, I just can't.
By the late 90s, he'd walked away from major labels entirely, started his own record company, invested in real estate, bought a chain of tech stores in Seattle, made way more money in business than he ever made in music. And the song kept growing without him. Got sampled by Nicki Minaj in Anaconda. Showed up in every comedy movie that needed a Remember the 90s needle drop. TikTok brought it back in 2020. New generation learning all the words.
Sweetest things west of the Mississippi River, you know what I'm saying?
Mix-a-Lot still alive, still working, still making music independently. But the conversation ended in 1992. One song said everything the mainstream wanted to hear from him, and after that, they stopped listening. That's the thing about being known for one big statement. Doesn't matter what else you have to say. People already decided what your voice sounds like.
And double up, I ain't talking about Playboy, cause silicone parts.
Number 7, 1995, Deep Blue, Something, Breakfast at Tiffany's. Breakfast at Tiffany's hit number 5 in June 1996, spent 25 weeks on the chart, sold 1 million copies. And the band, 4 guys from Denton, Texas, thought they'd made it. They hadn't. Here's what actually happened. The song came from a fight. Songwriter Todd Pipes was arguing with his girlfriend, trying to find something, anything they still had in common. Couldn't think of much. Then remembered they both liked Breakfast at Tiffany's when they watched it together. Seemed like enough to hold on to. It wasn't. They broke up anyway, but he'd already written the song, so the band recorded it, released it locally in Texas in 1993. Nothing happened. Re-released it nationally in 1995. Nothing happened. Then a radio programmer in Oklahoma started playing it in heavy rotation in early 1996, and suddenly it was everywhere. Major label deal, national tour, MTV rotation, the whole thing.
So what now? Explain.
Deep Blue Something tried to follow it up. Released Halo as the second single. Didn't even crack the top 40. Released a whole second album in 1998. Sold maybe 10,000 copies. By 1999, the label dropped them. By 2001, the band had broken up. And here's the thing nobody tells you about being a one-hit wonder. You don't get to keep the money. The label recoups recording costs. Management takes their cut. Touring costs eat everything else. By the time Breakfast at Tiffany's stopped getting radio play, the band members were back working regular jobs.
And I said, well, that's one thing we got. I see.
Pipes became a school teacher, still plays music on weekends, still gets recognized occasionally. And you know what he said in an interview years later? We had one thing in common. Turned out that wasn't enough. He was talking about him and the band, not him and the girlfriend. Number 6, 1999, Lou Bega, Mambo No. 5. Lou Bega's Mambo No. 5 is a cover. Most people don't know that. The original was an instrumental by Perez Prado from 1949. Bega added the lyrics, the whole "a little bit of Monica in my life" part, and released it in Germany in 1999. It went to number 1 in 22 countries, number 3 in the U.S., sold over 6 million copies worldwide, got nominated for a Grammy. You couldn't escape it. Grocery stores, weddings, sporting events, that one summer where it played on loop everywhere you went, then it stopped. And Lou Bega, David LaBega, born in Munich to a Ugandan father and Sicilian mother, tried everything to get it back. Released 4 more albums between 2000 and 2013. Not one song charted anywhere. Tried different genres, tried different producers, tried going back to the mambo sound. Nothing worked. By 2010, he was playing casino lounges and corporate events, state fairs, nostalgia tours, where the entire set was building up to the one song everybody came to hear. And he'd play it every single night because that's the gig. But here's what kills me about this one. Bega didn't even write the melody. He wrote one verse of lyrics over someone else's 50-year-old instrumental, and that one verse, naming off a bunch of women's names to a swing rhythm, defined his entire existence for the next 25 years. You know that feeling when someone meets you and immediately brings up the one thing you're embarrassed about from years ago? That's Lou Bega's whole life. Except he's not even embarrassed. He's proud of it, but the world decided that's all he gets to be proud of. Still touring, still playing the song, still trying to make new music that nobody listens to. At a certain point, you stop fighting it. You just become the guy who did the thing that one time. Number 5, 2002, Vanessa Carlton, 1,000 Miles.
Making a way through the crowd.
Vanessa Carlton recorded 1,000 Miles when she was 19. That piano intro, the one everybody knows, she wrote it in her dorm room at Columbia University, just messing around between classes. The song went to number 5 in June 2002, got nominated for Record of the Year at the Grammys, spent 41 weeks on the chart. And if you were alive in 2002, you heard it everywhere. That opening piano line became one of those things people could hum without thinking. Then the follow-up single, Ordinary Day, peaked at number 30. The one after that didn't chart at all. By her second album in 2004, the label was pressuring her to write another 1,000 Miles. She refused. Wanted to try different sounds, experiment with production. The label dropped her.
And I miss you.
Carlton kept making music independently, 5 more albums between 2007 and 2020. Some of them were really good. Critics liked them. Nobody bought them. And here's the brutal part. 1,000 Miles got a second life in 2004 because of White Chicks, the movie where Terry Crews sings along to it in the car. That scene became more famous than the original song. People started associating 1,000 Miles with a comedy bit, not with Vanessa Carlton.
Do you think time went past me by?
She's still recording, still touring small venues, still making the kind of music she wants to make, but 1,000 Miles exists separately from her now. It's in commercials, TikTok videos, background music in Target. The song kept growing. Her career didn't. And you know what she said about it once? I'm grateful, but I'm not that person anymore. Nobody asked her if she wanted to be. The song decided for her.
Staring blankly ahead.
Number 4, 2006, D4L, Laffy Taffy. D4L were 4 teenagers from Atlanta. Laffy Taffy was never supposed to be a real song. It was a joke track, a freestyle they recorded messing around in somebody's basement, rapping about candy and dancing over a beat somebody found on Fruity Loops.
Front door, girl, you don't know. I'ma talk that Laffy Taffy. Toss it, flip it.
They put it on MySpace in 2005. It went viral before going viral was really a thing. By January 2006, it hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Not because radio picked it up, not because MTV loved it, because kids were downloading it. Laffy Taffy became the most downloaded song in history at the time. 175,000 digital downloads in 1 week.
500 more. You can best believe later on we headed to the mall. So go.
The record company didn't even know what was happening until Billboard called to tell them their song was number 1. D4L released 1 album, Down for Life. It went gold. They tried to tour, tried to record a follow-up, and then Shawty Lo, one of the members, started having problems with the other 3. Money problems, creative problems. The whole thing fell apart by 2007.
Lady skeet, skeet, skeet like a water hose.
By 2016, Shawty Lo was dead. Car crash in Atlanta. He was 40. The other members scattered. Fabo tried a solo career that went nowhere. Mook B left music entirely. Stuntman just disappeared. And Laffy Taffy is still here. Still gets played at high school dances, still shows up in throwback playlists. The song outlived one of the guys who made it. And the rest of them are watching it live on without them, knowing they'll never make anything else anybody remembers. That's the cruelest version of this. When the hit is so big so fast that your whole life peaks before you're old enough to understand what you're losing.
And I'ma keep tipping you while I sit back like a player sipping Grey Goose.
Number 3, 2011, Gotye featuring Kimbra, Somebody That I Used to Know.
Like when you said you felt so happy you could die.
Wally DeBacker, the guy behind Gotye, didn't want to be famous. He wanted to make weird experimental art pop records and sell them to the 10,000 people on earth who cared. That was the plan. Then he wrote, Somebody That I Used to Know.
Now you're just somebody that I used to know.
The song hit number 1 in June 2012. Stayed there for 8 weeks. Sold over 13 million copies worldwide. Won Grammys. Broke the record for most weeks on the Billboard Hot 100 at the time. 59 weeks. Spawned thousands of YouTube covers. Became one of those songs where you can play the first 3 notes and everybody knows exactly what's coming. Gotye released the album Making Mirrors that same year. It had other songs on it. Nobody cared. Somebody That I Used to Know ate everything else. And here's the thing, DeBacker saw it happening, watched the song become bigger than him, bigger than the album, bigger than any artistic vision he'd ever had, and he made a choice. He walked away. No follow-up album, no singles, no tour. He just stopped. Gave a couple interviews saying he needed time to figure out what came next. That was 2013. It's been over a decade. He hasn't released anything. Kimbra, the featured vocalist, tried to keep going. Released 3 more albums. None of them charted. People still introduce her as the woman from that Gotye song. And here's what kills me. The backer's still getting royalty checks, millions of dollars. The song plays everywhere, constantly, forever. He never has to work again. But he can't make music either, because anything he puts out will be compared to the thing he doesn't want to talk about anymore. So he doesn't. He just lets the song exist without him. Somebody that he used to know. Number 2, 2015, OMI, Cheerleader. Omar Samuel Pasley woke up one morning in Jamaica humming a melody. That's how he described it later. Said it felt like a nursery rhyme. 1, 2, buckle my shoe kind of thing. Wrote it down. Recorded a rough version in 2012. Nothing happened. 3 years later, a German DJ named Felix Jaehn heard it, remixed it, added a tropical house beat, put it on Spotify.
Stay strong, yeah. She is always in my corner.
And in 2015, Cheerleader went to number 1 in 22 countries, spent 6 weeks at number 1 in the US, became the Song of Summer 2015. OMI released a full album, Me For You. It hit number 51 on the Billboard 200, released 3 more singles. None of them charted. By 2017, he was back in Jamaica, playing local clubs, trying to write another hit.
You know, all that's left to do is just for me to put the question.
And here's the part that nobody talks about. The song that went to number 1 wasn't even OMO's version. It was Felix Jaehn's remix. Jaehn took the credit, took the producer royalties, went on to have a whole career making remixes of other people's songs. Omi got the performance royalties, which is nothing but every time Cheerleader plays, Felix Jaehn's name is right there next to his, and Jaehn's gone on to produce hits for other artists. Stayed relevant. Omi's the guy who sang the thing once.
She gives me love and affection.
That's a specific kind of loss. When you make the thing that becomes huge, but someone else gets remembered for making it. Still trying, still recording, still releasing singles that nobody streams. Cheerleader hit 2 billion plays on Spotify. Everything else combined, maybe 10 million. The math doesn't lie. The world got what it wanted from OME. They don't need him anymore. Number 1, 2020, Glass Animals, Heat Waves, 2020. Heat Waves is the most patient song in this entire list. It came out in June 2020, middle of lockdown. Nobody left their houses. Concerts were canceled. The whole music industry was frozen, and the song just sat there for months. Didn't chart, didn't hit radio, barely got streams. Then something strange happened. TikTok found it. Kids stuck at home started using it in videos. The algorithm picked it up. By late 2021, it was everywhere. Climbed the chart slower than any song in Billboard history. Took 59 weeks to hit number 1 in March 2022. Then stayed in the top 10 for 5 more weeks.
Cry one more and then I say goodbye. Sometimes I
Glass Animals had released 3 albums before Heat Waves. They'd been touring for a decade, built a cult following in the alternative scene. Then this one sad, hazy song about missing someone during lockdown became the biggest thing they'd ever do. They tried to follow it up, released new singles, new album. None of it hit the same. Not because the music was bad, because Heat Waves caught a moment. Pandemic loneliness, distance, that specific feeling of being apart from everyone you love with no idea when it ends. You can't recreate that. And here's the difference between Glass Animals and everybody else on this list. They're still big, still headlining festivals, still selling out arenas, but they know, everybody knows, they'll play 15 songs at a show and the crowd's waiting for one. The song's frontman Dave Bailey said reaching #1 felt like walking outside naked, not because of fame, because the song was so personal, written about a friend who almost died, and now millions of people sing it without knowing that, without knowing him.
Give you that hook that's perfectly inside. Sometimes
That's the final form of the one-hit wonder. When the song is so successful, it stops being yours. It belongs to everybody, and you're just the person who happened to write it.
can't make you happier now. Oh, Shimon.